How many times have I failed? And yet I am still here. How many times have I failed in life? If I count honestly, I cannot give you a number, not because the failures were small, but because they were many. Some were visible, some were silent, some were public, some were deeply personal. I was remembering one of them today. And I was trying to relate that incident, a story of a failure, to link it back to my decisions today. It has been more than 25 years now. Life would have been different for those people who were around me. The person who could have been in my life might be a father of a person, of a boy, of a girl, or even both. I do not have any news of those people anymore. Long back, I stopped keeping any account of those people because it was a story of a failure, or say a story of an experience, doesn't matter. But that built the person who I am today. It's very easy to say, but it is lot of pain, lot of shame as well, maybe. And yet, I'm here. That is the real story. We often measure success by milestones, position, recognition, impact, income, influence. But what we rarely measure is the number of times we fell before we stood steady. We admire the stage, but we don't see the rehearsals. We applaud the victory, but we don't witness the doubt. Failure was never a single dramatic event in my life. It was a stress. It was a series of stressful moments. Moments when I thought I was ready and I wasn't. Moments when I trusted and it broke. Moments when I tried and it didn't work. So many of them. Moments when I gave my best and it wasn't enough. At least that is what I believed then. The first shift happened when I stopped asking, why is this happening to me? And started asking, what is this teaching me? But The duration between these two questions were in years. It took me years to be able to ask the question. And I know now every failure carried information. Some failures taught me humility, some taught me skill, some taught me boundaries, some taught me patience. They all taught me something or other, not success every time. And some taught me resilience I didn't know I possessed. There were phases when noticing seemed to move. Efforts felt visible to me, invisible to everybody around. Work felt unnoticed. Even now, when I see something, I see from the position of intuition. Obviously, I take time to connect them with logic, and the arguments are not there. It is a jump from a feeling to something which I felt like reality, but not to everybody. Progress felt slow in my case, obviously. And that is where many people left, many people quit. Not in dramatic collapse, but in quiet discouragement. I considered quitting too, like everybody, but something inside me refused to let routine define my story. I didn't want to just survive. I wanted meaning. I wanted growth. I wanted resonance. And growth is never comfortable. So each time I face discomfort, I felt moved. I I rushed to decisions. But at the moment when I am describing that experience, I have that mindset of staying here itself, watching all that is happening, all the discomfort that is surrounding me, all the uncertainty that is surrounding my life, my decisions. There were days I doubted my abilities, days I questioned my decisions, days I wondered if I had overestimated myself. Failure has a way of magnifying your insecurities. It whispers, maybe you are not enough. But here is what I slowly understood: failure doesn't mean you are not enough, it means you are stretching beyond your current capacity. Every level demands a new version of you. The version of me who started could not have handled the responsibilities I carry today. That version needed to fail, needed to stumble, needed to experience disappointment, because each failure was shaping capacity. Capacity to handle pressure, capacity to handle criticism, capacity to handle uncertainty, capacity to handle success without losing balance, and capacity to handle failures, not getting what my heart dearly wanted. Failure was not stopping me, it was strengthening me. There were also Relational failures, misunderstandings, misplaced trust, wrong partnerships, wrong expectations, which have kind of put some doubt inside me whenever I am ready to flow. Till now, till today. Those hurt differently. They were not about performance, they were about people. But even there, the lesson was clear. Discernment is built through experience. You cannot develop wisdom without walking through misjudgment. Financial missteps taught me prudence. Professional setbacks taught me strategy. Personal disappointments taught me emotional strength. And slowly, something changed. I stopped fearing failure. Not because I became fearless, but because I became aware. Aware that failure is data. Aware that setbacks are feedback. Aware that delay is not denial. Aware that resilience is a skill. Each time I felt, I got up slightly wiser. Each time I got up, I carried less ego and more clarity. And that is how I reached this stage. Not in one leap, but in layers. Layers of learning, layers of correction, layers of rebuilding, layers of belief. If you see stability now, it is built on instability I survived. If you are seeing confidence now, it's built on doubt I confronted. If you see clarity now, it is built on confusion I navigated. The world often celebrates the visible outcome, but the real victory is internal transformation. Till now, it is so huge, I am not able to narrate it step by step, transition by transition. I am still overwhelmed. I am not here because I avoided failure. I am here because I did not allow failures to define me. Failure tested my patience, failure tested my identity, failure tested my commitment, but it also refined my purpose. There is something powerful about reaching a stage in life where you can look back and say, that did not break me. Every time I thought something would end my progress, it ended my illusion instead. It ended the illusion that growth is linear. It ended the illusion that talent alone is enough. It ended the illusion that recognition comes instantly. What remained was discipline, perspective, endurance. And today, when I stand here, I do not stand as someone who never failed. I stand as someone who kept going. So, how many times have I failed? Enough times to build resilience, enough times to build wisdom, enough times to build character. And perhaps that is the real answer. Failure was not detour, it was the design. If you are in a phase where things are not working, where effort feels unrewarded, where progress feels invisible, remember this. The stage you admire in others is built on failures you never saw. Do not count your failures as losses, count them as layers. Because one day you will look back and realize you did not reach your stage despite your failures, you reached it because of them.